Good morning, evening, or afternoon, everybody. It's Kagho coming at you with another video, and holy crap, they dropped an absolute bombshell last night talking about the future of Mists of Pandaria and how they plan to tackle the RaidFinder, as well as a new version of dungeons similar to the Titan rune system that was introduced in Wrath of the Lich King, was there in Mists of Pandaria, and goes all the way forward, and then it is called Celestial Dungeons, which is very fitting given how MoP is and all the celestial stuff that you do here, but really amazing. So without further ado, I'm going to switch it over to the blue post and we're going to dive right in. So I'll see when we get there. So here is the blue post. It says, "Greetings. As we've put a lot of thought and care into the crafting the upcoming Mists of Pandaria Classic experience, we've developed two important updates we'd like to provide insight into them. RaidFinder and MoP Classic. The journey throughout the development of Classic expansions has given us countless opportunities to look back on the intent and the outcomes of decisions that the original team made about certain features. Fortunately, we've gotten to discuss those decisions with the same team members who made all of them because they're still here at Blizzard, and ask whether they were successful in accomplishing their goals." I think that is just so awesome that some of the people that were back there making these choices, I mean, remember MoP is not as crazy, but like if they're talking like original Classic TBC Wrath of the Lich King, that's awesome. But MoP's a bit further, but anyway, still awesome to see that they have that insight. We've also listened intently to players as they've recounted their memories and experiences with the original content, which we've been given the incredible opportunity to bring to life once again, both for the players who experienced the first time back in the day, as well as for all new players living it for the first time. In 2011, raiding was a relatively niche activity largely limited to organized guild groups that experienced a fixed raiding team schedule, and pickup groups doing content were non-existent on most realms. Thus, the development team introduced the RaidFinder towards the end of Cataclysm to make raiding more accessible, despite recognizing that it would weaken some social bonds because so few people were actually getting to face the Lich King or see Ragnaros after playing through the Molten Front content. I can attest to this. RaidFinder and doing Dragon Soul raid, that was the first thing that really got me truly into raiding. I did some ICC pugs late, but that was once the 30% buff was. I mean, I was terrible at the game, so don't get me wrong there, but like I didn't really do most of the raids. I went into the first raids after doing ICC with the 30% buff, thinking that it would be similar to that and we could have fun and do it, and the first Cata raids were so hard, they beat the crap out of me. I'm like, I'm gonna stick to PvP. Given I was a kid, so very interesting. But my experience is exactly this. I didn't go back to raiding until LFR Dragon Soul, and then I ended up even completing the legendary daggers on my rogue and even doing some heroic raids there. That's how much I got into it and really enjoyed it. So like that what they're saying right there is pretty much my exact experience as a Wrath baby and someone who got in there. When I went into Cata Dungeons heroics for the first time, someone said CC this mob, and I didn't know what CC meant because I went from ICC heroics that were a joke and an absolute pure obliteration to Cata heroics where you actually had to CC. I literally had to ask, what's CC mean? What do you want me to do? He's like, use your ice trap. I was a hunter. But anyway, that's just my experience, and I really resonate with this message personally. In Progression Classic, however, we've seen far more players participating in normal raiding, and there is every reason to expect that to continue into Mists Classic. I love how they call Progression Classic. It's just a funny way to put it. I've never seen it called that. Considering all viewpoints, all points of view, weighing our options very carefully, we have made the decision to develop MoP Classic without the RaidFinder system, so no LFR here in MoP Classic. Classic progression realms have evolved differently over the last 5 years than the original WoW did from 2007 to 2012. Classic players have built a robust, consistent raiding ecosystem, and we believe that moving into MoP Classic without a RaidFinder system will set the stage for a stronger raiding community to emerge. Of course, that leaves us with two questions. How will players progress through the legendary quest? And how will players obtain RaidFinder gear? Well, conveniently, that brings us to the next thing that is called introducing Celestial Dungeons. Celestial Dungeons are a new dungeon difficulty in Mists of Pandaria Classic that stand as the, I hate this word, I'm not even going to read it, stand as the beep of everything we have learned from the Titan Rune Dungeons and Wrath of the Lich King Classic and Elemental Rune Dungeon system in Cataclysm Classics. Celestial Dragons are a new additional difficult tier selectable from the Dungeon Finder, designed for players who are ready to move beyond heroic dungeons, infused with an occasional raid level mechanics and enemies, including appearances from bosses of the current raid tier. So that is very interesting. I wonder if, like, they just appear on the side and do one of their mechanics that you see in the raid, or if, like, it's a bonus boss full-on fight that you're going to have to do. Very interesting what we could see with that. I can't wait to explore it and see exactly how the system plays out. But smaller content to get people even more gear, that's just another like, people could get full LFR gear on their own and don't have to rely on the jump from heroic to raid upgrades. So that'll be really cool to see. It's like Mythic Dungeons without actually being Mythic Dungeons, but pretty cool ways to innovate it. I'm super stoked for this. Inside, players will commune with the August Celestials, granting powerful blessings to help overcome enhanced challenges. Strategic use of these blessings will be key to success. You will also find gear that offers more power than heroic gear, including all of the items that used to drop in RaidFinder, particularly tier pieces. So you will be able to get your 4-set tier pieces from doing these dungeons, and I think that is huge. That was one of the coolest things about LFR, is like if you normally did heroic, whatever tier you had, is like you could get your 4-set or 2-set from the LFR pieces as well. Items that will be target farmable as well as random drops. So if you specifically want an item, you can specifically go out and get that LFR trinket version of your BIS. So I think that is really cool as well. Currency dropped by bosses that can be used to be purchased, a wide variety of the above. Legendary quest progress. This is the biggest one because that cape is insanely good. Pretty much all of MoP. With quest additions made to preserve the lore, players should be able to choose to use Celestial Dungeons rather than raids to progress the legendary question. I don't really know exactly. Like, I guess like you're getting like Shaw essence or something weird like that, gathered from the bosses instead of from the raid. I don't know what lore implications it can have. I don't really remember the quest. I did do it back in the day, but I really don't remember what the hell you do. I know like you talk with Rathion at that little inn tavern where the black market auction house is, but that's pretty much all I remember. And Celestial Dungeons will grow with each raid tier. Throne of Thunder and Siege of Orgrimmar will bring new threats and rewards and new celestial powers to master. Previous raid tiers will remain available, so transmog hunters and collectors won't miss out. Celestial Dungeons will go live 2 weeks after Mogashan Vaults opens, giving players time to explore the raid before diving into this new challenge. I personally would like it to be 1 week because I think they're waiting 1 week for like literally everything else that they're delaying or not opening off the rip. So I would just like some consistency there. I think it's weird to just like do everything else at 1 week in this 2 weeks. But, you know, I'm not a dev, so just my opinion on that. We believe this approach keeps the spirit of Classic alive, rewarding commitment, encouraging social play, and offering meaningful progression while still making content accessible in a more engaging and respectful way. Thank you for all your feedback on the development of Mists of Pandaria Classic, and thanks for going on this journey with us. Can't wait to see how you tackle the challenges ahead. So I think this is pretty awesome, and I think it'll be really cool to see it implemented. RaidFinder, I have a guild now, I have a community, I'm thriving. We'll be able to do the raid regardless of if it was RaidFinder or not, so that's kind of like a non-factor for me. However, like I said, I do really like this system. It kind of feels like it's not Mythic Plus. Like, I don't want to say it's Mythic Plus because it really isn't. Like, it's kind of like to a degree it is, but I think it's also just a way to put the LFR gear in there without making it LFR, which I think is a really cool thing, and I look forward to doing those. It's a really awesome way to gear characters, gear alts, get people playing, keep people engaged, and go after it. You know, so often we see here in Classic, people just get their full best and they're raid logging every week till the next raid comes out, till the next raid comes out, till the next expansion comes out. Like, people just race to raid log, so it'll give a lot of people a reason to get out there and go and play. And they could even put like motes of harmony and stuff and spirits of harmony in there to reward players for reasons to keep doing them even after their gears, similar to Tarnish Undermine Real since Season of Discovery. But all in all, I am super stoked for these changes, and I think they are really, really awesome. So I would love to hear what you guys have to say, if you're excited for them, and what you're looking forward to most. And until next time, I'll see you later. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Hey, you. Yes, you. Are you still there? Well, I appreciate you for taking the time to watch this entire video and making it to the end here. If you enjoyed this video, definitely check out the other videos about World of Warcraft listed in these playlists down below. And thank you again. Have a great day. Bye-bye.